right, guys. Now we are joined by Rob LaLonde, who is the owner of Buttendz, and Josh Roman, who also known as Hockey Sniper, who helps out Rob. And boys, how did you guys meet?
Josh, what do you think, man? You want to take a swing at it?
Yeah, sure. Well, like back right when the hockey community like started getting going, like I actually like just bought a grip because like Buttendz was the thing. Everyone was repping the grip, so I had to get one for myself. And then just started posting content, and then like we kind of connected at like sauce meetups and everything, and got going from there. What do you think?
Yeah, I can't remember the first time we actually met. I remember I was coming up to Canada all the time to do different events and things like that. And I got to know Josh just from I think his Instagram account. Just noticing Hockey Sniper doing being involved in the hockey community, and we were trying to work with everybody that we could find in the hockey community at the time. So we reached out to Josh, I think, or he reached out to us. I don't remember, but on the Instagram and was like, hey, like that's kind of how the relationship got started. And then I'm from Buffalo. Buttendz is based in Buffalo, New York, which is like 10 minutes from the Ontario border. And Josh, how far are you from the border in Buffalo?
About 45 minutes or so, give
Yeah.
or take.
Yeah, so quick trip up to QEW, and we were able to meet up pretty quickly and start making some content together. I remember we did a couple videos in person. We just got to know each other online, just organically, I guess, just like that.
Josh, how do you think Buttendz has changed over time? Because it's been out for a while now.
Like just the grips in general, or like everything, or
Yeah, scripts in general it's everything basically. Can dive into it.
well, like right from the beginning, there were only like a couple styles. Like you didn't have many options or anything, and like now it's just like expanded to like a knob for everyone. They got like a bunch of different styles, even like the stretch grip. You can create your own knob with that one, and it's just been great to see the progress.
What was your plan to like reach out to people from all over the country to let them know about your product?
Well, I mean, just right from the very beginning, the most important thing was getting visibility on it, right? Like I knew from the start, like when we first started Buttendz, social media was not really popping off the way it is now, right? Like we started off, we didn't even have an Instagram account when we first started the company, and it was from the very beginning, like how can we get people to know about it? Because like at the start of the start of the business, I would take it up to a rink. Like we took a trunk full of grips up to Toronto for a hockey tournament, and we had like literally no social media presence, but we'd go there and the response from all the players we met was huge. So I knew we were onto something really exciting, and I knew the product was sweet because I loved it, and I knew I had NHL players that are interested in it. I had a guy on the show using the product already, but nobody knew about it. But I was excited that anybody that I thought, anybody that knew anything about hockey, if I showed them the product and actually put it in their hands, they were going to fall in love with it. So I was excited to basically reach out to anybody that I could find with an audience or anybody that was making content themselves. And so when Instagram came out and we really started making, full-time content creation to try to grow our company, we would target anybody in the community that was like, that was interested in trying the product, man. I was looking to get it in their hands. And Josh, at the time was one of the early, hockey accounts making hockey videos. He was doing hockey tricks. He was making all different kinds of hockey content. He was getting well known for what he was doing. So he was just an obvious guy that we got to know. And, we worked with a lot of the same companies and stuff at the time, just, cross promoting stuff. So it was really easy for us to get to know each other that way. And then, Josh being so close, and it just was like a natural fit for us to like sort of meet up and start to, do stuff together.
Rob, you kind of jumped in on this a little bit, so I want to get Josh's opinion too. So, how do you think social media has definitely changed the game? Because obviously, businesses that are starting out, they want to get their product out there. Mostly, everyone's on social media now. So, how do you think social media has changed the game for starting businesses?
Like I think it's like huge now, and it's something you have to do. Like even with like the pandemic, everything's shifting to online, and it's just definitely somewhere where you need to be. Like, it will help you excel, and if you're consistent and you're always creating, doing something to showcase your business, I feel like the reach is like that much more, and you can like target more people, select audiences with ads, promos. There's like an endless amount of things that you can do to reach who you want to get your product or business or service out to.
Do you guys think the pandemic helped the business in a way? Because
everyone was like locked in their own homes and on their phones.
There was definitely huge pluses and huge minuses with the pandemic. It changed like the whole landscape of business and the hockey community and hockey in general. Being a hockey player changed, a lot of stuff at home. But like you said, everything was on the internet. And I mean, we run our entire company through buttendz.com. So we're an internet-based company. So when everybody moves to the internet, we had been there. Like it for me was not, it didn't change what I was doing. It only ramped everything up like 10x or 100x, it seemed, right? Like before there was all this in-person stuff, and then all of a sudden overnight it seemed everything went to the internet. But we already had a nice present there. Our website buttendz.com has been up and running, and we've made multiple revisions. We dropped a new website during the pandemic, so our online B2B B2C business setup is humming right now. So for the pandemic, for us, it was actually like really good timing. My partner Kevin and I talk about it all the time, where we thought, if this had happened, if the pandemic had happened in say 2014, 2015, when we needed a lot more hand-to-hand, on the grind work at the rinks, stuff like that, where that's how we grew our company, was face-to-face, selling grips one at a time to customers before we had a huge, footprint with all the different stores. Like if the pandemic had happened 5 years or 6 years earlier, it might have crushed our business. But being that it happened, when we were mature as a company and we had all of our online presence, it definitely ramped everything up as far as like, responsibility, but then also opportunity. And then honestly, Josh and I really started officially working together during the pandemic. Before Josh and I worked together, I essentially handled all of the social media myself, uploading all the videos, doing all the editing, basically doing the entire process of it myself. And then, during the pandemic, that's when Josh and I officially started working together. So it was like coupled with, like I said, opportunity and like, different responsibilities that happened because of the pandemic.
And what are some of the things you did during the pandemic to get your followers engaged on social media?
I mean, just a lot more, extensive, work online. It was like the different platforms that came out made it, like easier to reach people. Having TikTok videos be able to, go viral and go crazy, and you get a lot more eyeballs on your product, and just a lot of, customer engagement. Like some of the things that Josh and I work on together. Josh is, in the DMs, we're answering all of our messages from all of our customers, any customer service question. Nothing gets, we like to try to have a hands-on approach to every single thing that comes into our business. So, we take our customers very seriously, and like, that translates into a lot of work. And that's kind of how we've gotten, more engagement on our company, is just being, people know when like they're talking with Buttendz, they're talking with the owners of the company. You know what I mean? It's kind of a nice thing in this day and age to be able, as a consumer, to have that kind of contact with the business. And so that's why, like during the pandemic, the responsibility ramped up, and it made it really possible for, a guy who's as talented as Josh is to come in and really plug in and be an integral part to what we're doing with our social media strategy for Buttendz.
I feel like that was a big thing, like especially like the engagement, just more engagement in the DMs, more time spent, talking to each and every one, interacting with their comments, getting them involved with giveaways and like the SNL you do every week, and just more like influencer work. I don't know, pretty much everything to try and bring them in and, make them feel part of the brand, sharing more content.
Yeah, which social media platform do you think has the biggest impact on your company? Because I know you guys are on Buttendz POV and Buttendz on TikTok, and then Instagram. You're always posting reels daily.
I mean, it's been an evolving landscape. Obviously, the way that social media platforms change so much each year. Definitely hard to discount. Our top two platforms, I think, that we focus on are TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, right? They're the same thing. So like, I would say they're both very, very important for our business. But, as far as organic reach right now, nothing can topple what you can get over on TikTok. I mean, some of the videos that we've had there have done, massive views and massive audience. And it's funny, I used to travel around and people would always be like, oh, I know you from Instagram, or I know you from your YouTube channel. And then all of a sudden, like a year and a half ago, now it's like mostly people are like, oh, I love your TikToks, so definitely reaching new people is huge. So TikTok is obviously a beast. And, but obviously Facebook and Instagram still too, very, it's a very important channel for us to get our brand out to the public. And then, with Instagram and Facebook, you have a lot of control with your targeted audiences and your, advertising, especially around the holiday season and stuff. So that's important. But I think, that as the world evolves, like, you can't really beat the algorithm reach that you can get on TikTok with the right amount of content and the right amount of work on there. What do you think, Josh?
I would agree with you there. Like, it's just really important to be on like Instagram and Facebook just so you have a presence, content going up there. But especially right now, like people need to take advantage of TikTok, like we've been doing, constantly uploading, engaging, because like all it takes is, one video. You don't know what video it might be, and it could just blow up, and then, there's your brand. But yeah, the reach is huge on TikTok. And yeah, like even all the in-person events, like Rob said, everyone's saying, "Oh, I saw your TikTok. Oh, I love that video." It's all TikTok, right? But you know, Instagram's still valuable too.
No, Josh, you have a big impact in the posting stuff for Buttendz for TikTok and Instagram. Are there certain categories that you guys try to hit with your posts, like such as like funny posts or giving tips for players and stuff like that?
Josh and I talk daily about what we're doing as far as what we're posting, what kind of content's going up. We have a lot of different categories. Like, we like to share user generated content with people using our product. That's valuable. We like to create our own unique stuff. If something's funny that we like, we can reshare it. You know what I mean? Everything goes through our filter though, and we decide like if it's something that might be our audience might find either value from, either it's funny or yeah, if it's a tutorial how to do something. I mean, pretty much Josh and I always just compare it whether or not it's quality content. If it's quality content that we like and endorse or we create ourselves, then we'll share it, basically. And we don't have like too much of a rigid structure over what gets shared when. It's more just let's get the quality content up and get it out. You know what I mean? And get it posted, and then let the audience decide and let the algorithm take care of it. And we'll just keep working and keep grinding.
We're always like testing new things, seeing what kind of works, feeling it out. If we have a hit video, then we'll try and, recreate it or do something new where we can also reshare that. And, we kind of see what people are liking. So that's kind of the main thing, how we're operating. And, like Rob said, it's more about volume, get everything up, quality content. And yeah.
You guys aren't allowed to post like NHL players, like highlights of them using the grip.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore, man. We did for a while. We posted a lot of the NHL stuff, and we had, back in the day. But then we were not allowed to do that anymore because we don't have NHL licensing. So we stay away from sharing, user NHL stuff. So it's kind of frustrating too, because it'd be nice, it'd be fun because we have so many guys that are using Buttendz in the show, and like to be able to storytell with those guys would be awesome. But listen, it's part of the game right now, and we know we have other people that have shared that content that see that, but basically the stuff that we share now on Buttendz is all either user generated from us that we create, or stuff that customers create as well that we share.
Do you think that like not being able to share that has an impact on sales in general? Because maybe people don't know that NHL guys are in fact using those grips.
I mean, I think it would definitely it couldn't hurt, right? Obviously it'd be good, but I mean, we've seen increases in our sales year over year since we stopped sharing NHL content. So possibly could definitely boost, but it's funny, man. Like I also when back in the day we used to post a lot of stuff. Like if you're a Senators fan, which you know what I mean, it'd be awesome because we have some guys on the Senators using Buttendz. And but if you hate the Senators and you're scrolling your feed, like a lot of times we'd see a lot of like those posts wouldn't do as well. So I was like, I don't know, it's a hit or miss. It'd definitely be good having NHL presence, but we think we can survive without it if we had to. And it's cool to have guys use our stuff in the show for sure. It'd be great to share it, but we'll cross that bridge hopefully when we can. Like we're working behind the scenes to try to get an opportunity with NHL where we can be back in their good graces in that regard, and then hopefully be able to share all different kinds of stuff, because it'd be fun to plug in like our ideas that we have at Buttendz with what's going on in the NHL. Just give everybody a different look, because right now it's sort of like everything kind of goes through that funnel where everybody sees the same. In my opinion, I think like mostly at the NHL, everybody sees the same stuff. It seems like, you know what I mean? If something goes viral, it's like that's what everyone shares. Like it'd be fun again to be back where we used to, where we have like different stories to tell, guys who aren't always in the news that are using our stuff that we could make stories about and tell stories about. So hopefully in the future that will happen, and then we can see a bump in the growth of our brand.
And then having a business makes you interact with a lot of different types of people. And Rob, I just saw that you went to Merrimack College and met with some of those players. What's the best part of having interactions with people like that?
Dude, it's super cool. Like, for me, it's like literally like it's a dream come true. I know it's like a cliche, but I used to lay awake at night and dream about this, like this product and then what it would mean to hockey players. So to have the opportunity to travel around the world and be known for, I'm Rob from Buttendz, and you got, the hockey stick grips and and like people love that. And like, it's super fun to be able to walk into a rink with a product that you've created that, like people like it a lot. And even if they haven't seen it yet, I know as a hockey player, if I show it to a group of hockey players, some of the guys are going to be really interested and really like it. And for me, that's super exciting. And then to be able to have relationships all over the world with guys I've met, some players I met that when they were young kids and now they're, grown men and they're playing in the NHL. And like, it's super cool as a hockey player to have that experience year over year and to be able to look out into the future and see other opportunities. Like this year we got back, we were over in India, skating over on the ODRs over there and meeting hockey players, met them through Instagram and guys that were, never met before in person, but had a chance to go over there and hang out and play and be included in their world and their hockey life. And shout out to Mustu, shout out Vishal, shout out to my boys over there. Yeah, just to have these experiences, it's wild. It's super fun. And then, like you said, like the Valenti brothers, I met you guys on the beach in Maine one day randomly. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like those experiences for me are like they keep me energized for sure, and like it's fun to have more of those opportunities in the future to look forward to.
Do you guys think going out in person, like you guys just went to Minnesota for Let's Play Hockey, do you think that has a big impact on growing the brand as well, besides social media?
I think absolutely. I mean, we learned really early on that for example, just like going to the rinks and having interactions with every kid that walks by you, player, either it's pro players or young people, like people like to do business with people they know. You know what I mean? Like I personally love having the personal experience of like meeting the owner of a company or just like, having a real direct interaction with a brand. So much more interested in that company. So absolutely, shaking every hand, answering every question, talking to every player that you meet along the way, I think definitely builds on itself. And that's what creates, people become loyal to your brand. And yeah, it's definitely the secret sauce behind what we do here for sure. Like, especially starting off as a really small company, we build brick by brick and we say grip by grip, like everybody we meet is an opportunity to, create a customer for life. And it's fun.
I feel like that's the key thing, like just getting out, face to face, they see what you're doing, like how you're applying the grips, and then that's really the main thing, because videos are good, but like seeing it in person, like they're gonna remember it, for sure.
And then with every successful business, there comes the hate part. I know, Josh, you have a trick shot account. I mean, I hope you don't get hate. What do you guys do to block out the haters? Because there's definitely a lot of them out there that try to bring you down.
Like for me, like I've had like people say stuff in the past, but for me, I just kind of let them do their thing and just keep going forward, like posting more content, just keep doing my thing on my own path. Cause like in the end, it's it is what it is, right? And like I'm not gonna let them hold me back, and really anything. But I just kind of ignore them, and yeah.
Yeah, for me, like it's 95% like love out in whenever I go anywhere and like the work that we do, like it's been very rewarding, having hockey players really like embrace Buttendz and be supportive of the company. And like we're almost on 10 years as a business. And the bigger you become as a business, the more expands to people that don't know who you are. So that brings in people that might on you, but it's like I say bring it on because it's good for the algorithm. And then like there's so much respect. I get so much respect in the hockey industry that like I don't really care about haters, and you know what I mean? Like I don't really care. It's all good, so that kind of just comes with the territory.
Over these past 9 years, the game of hockey has evolved like a lot. Like Trevor Zegras has been hitting Michigans. You've seen it once. It doesn't really catch the eye anymore. Like, how can you make Buttendz reach that full potential of today's game? Like, obviously, you guys are creating the pitbull.
I mean, I think about that a lot, and like, I think we've been definitely fortunate to be at the one of the leaders of like evolving the game as far as equipment goes. Like it's been exciting, man. Like for so long I've been watching, hockey sticks evolve to where they become super sick over the years, and using tape grips at the end of your stick is still so archaic, but it's still the main thing. It's still what people do. So like there's still a lot of people to convert over to customers and like to get on board with what we're doing. But like you mentioned it, we have the Pitbull blade grip coming out. There's so many ways to innovate, so many ways to grow. There's all different kinds of opportunities for us as a brand and to move into the future and to be, one of the leaders of the innovators in the hockey equipment game. And for me, it's exciting. And, I love it. I'm a hockey player. I've always been a gear nerd. I've always been excited about new technology and like where the game can go. And it's fun to be a part of the growth of it. And I think there's a lot of ways that, now that we've had we talked about it with 10 years in the business and like a lot of different things that we've done to grow it to where we are. The sky's the limit. I mean, moving forward, it's just there's so many opportunities out there to innovate and to continue to evolve. So we'll see, man. It'll be fun.
Like especially when you see like all the kids nowadays like trying the Zorro and the Michigan. Like I feel like the Pitbull is going to be huge in that sense, right? Because it'll give them an edge on their game, right? And especially that's how it's going.
It's coming out this month.
And I think everyone, when they start a business or like a trick shot account like you, Josh, they have like a major setback that kind of brings them down. Is there like one that you guys had that kind of made you a better person and made you stronger?
I've had people say, "Oh, why are you flipping sticks in the air? Like you're not gonna get anywhere." But like, I think it's more about just like the content that's going out. And like I just did my thing, kind of expanded, the videos and stuff that I was creating, and then just kind of went from there. But I didn't let those comments hold me back or anything.
I think like starting a business, if something happens to you while you're while you're doing work, or like we're in the field, we're traveling, like anything that happens, like this is my business, right? Like I don't have anybody that I can turn to be like, take care of this problem for me. Like I can't do it. Like you know what I mean? Like I have to do it. I'm responsible. So everything that I've done here is like is something that I've created. So I don't really have anybody to blame for anything except for myself. So that gives you a lot of personal responsibility where, you know what I mean? Like if things aren't going well, or if you're in a situation that's, not going as you want it to go, you don't have time to like think about whining or complaining or looking for an excuse. Like you just got to figure out a way out of it. You got to figure out a solution. I think building on that when all your situations are like that, it changes how you approach life. And I think that's definitely something that I've learned, starting a company where it's like, you just don't have anybody to complain to or to whine to, or you just got to fix the problem. You have to take care of it. If you're having a customer service issue and the grips are breaking or something happens, or your stuff isn't delivered on time, like what are you going to do? Complain or look for somebody to solve it for you? Like, yeah, you have to take care of it yourself. So just those kind of things, just being personally responsible, and like, you have your company and you're working on it all the time and you're taking care of business, you just become more efficient and you just become better at what you do. And it's just helped me as a person, and I think us as a business grow.
Like obstacles will like fall in your path, but yeah, it's just about overcoming each one individually and continuing to move forward regardless. So
like 10 years from now, like what do you see like changes made, or people will be able to customize their own grip or write their name on it or something like that, or Buttendz tape? Have you ever thought about something like that in the like these next few years that you could come out with that could change the game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, like there's tons of different ideas and products and like stuff that I'm thinking about, like for the future, like how to market the business, how do I want to take it, like how do I see myself as a hockey player as I get older, you know what I mean? And as I like the face of a company, right? Like I think about that, like, but there's tons of different ways to innovate and to evolve. Like I've got so many ideas for different grips, different things you could do for the blade, different things you could do for the helmet, the mask. I mean, you guys have seen Rob, maybe. Like Rob is an idea that I'm working on for like a character and a way to grow with my company and like tell a story, and also try out new products and try to innovate certain ways that I see that I want for myself and for my game, and then see if it's something that we can bring into the hockey market itself. So I'm excited for where we're going, and my goal is to continue to stay hungry and stay like having fun. Having fun is a prerequisite like for success, I think. And just stay healthy and keep grinding.
I'm kind of curious if you guys could pick one player to use butt ends, who would it be?
Uh, I feel
Uh,
like
I
it'd be kind
would
of
say,
cool to
I
have
would
McDavid.
say McDavid. I would say Austin
Yeah.
Matthews.
Yeah,
For
McDavid, he's been ripping it up. So if he was repping Buttendz, that'd
oh,
be like insane.
we got some guys right now that are using Buttendz that are coming up into the playoffs this year, and we'll talk about that. And yeah, hopefully we get some more guys for next season.
And I don't think Rob, too many people know about the first NHL player that used butt ends. Do you want to take us back through the story and kind of how you felt and stuff?
Yeah, so like the first NHL player was my buddy Brendan Prust, who was playing for Montreal at the time. He, I remember we had just started building the product, and I was looking for guys that were interested in trying it. I think we had got it back our samples. I had samples of the Flux Z, which is the first one we did, and I had like maybe I don't know a dozen samples that they sent us that from our manufacturer after we made it. And I texted Prusty because I knew him, and I texted him. I'm like, "Hey man, I got this new hockey stick grip. You want to try it?" And he was like, "Sure," right away. He texted me back. He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I met him in Philadelphia. They were playing on the road, and I brought a backpack with all my samples. I had already tried it. I loved it. And I met Prusty up at the hotel in Philly the night before the Montreal Canadiens game. This is 2013, like in the winter. And I went in the room. I showed him the grip. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll use it tomorrow in the game." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, sweet!" So I took all the grips and I gave him every single one. I gave him like 10 or 12 grips that I had on me. And the next day, we went to the Flyers Habs game, and I got there early. And I'm waiting in warm-ups, and all of a sudden, Canadians skate out, and there goes Prusty right out from underneath the visiting side, and he comes skating out on the ice, and he sees me in the stands, and he like shows me the grip on his stick. He points to it. I was so stoked. Like I was like literally like I felt like it was a dream. You know what I mean? Like having an NHL player use Buttendz, where I was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. Like it took so long. Like I said, I used to lay awake at night and think about this product and think about this idea and Buttendz, and like there was nothing. You know, it didn't exist. And to see it being used in the NHL, and then like Prusty used it for the rest of his career, and I followed him. Like I watched every single game after that. You know, I was a huge Prusty fan and a big Habs fan after that. And literally every game, it was like my partner Kevin and I would like wherever we were, we would go and find the Habs game and like watch it. And, like every once in a while, you'd see it. And Prusty, he was a popular player, so either if he fought or he scored some goals with it, some beauty goals, and he was on TV a lot. And you'd always be like probably like see our product on TV, be like, wow, it's so sick. So that's kind of how it got going.
You just said that you had dreams of NHL players using your product. What was the first thing you did to make things happen and turn it into reality?
I mean, just taking incremental steps over the years to keep working on it, always trying to knock on doors and open up doors. I mean, it was tough in the beginning because there was no idea, no concept. So I was like, I didn't really know. I just knew that like I wanted to do something to try to figure out how to start my own business. What really started the momentum was, I was making moves, doing some things, and then I partnered with my business partner Kevin Lonergan, who came to me and was like, "We should partner on this business. Like, I like where you're taking it." And I was like, awesome. And he was just, one of the smartest guy I knew and like good buddy of mine. And he wanted to be a part of it. He was like always around and like kind of following what I was doing. But when we came together, it was really like a good mix of like his skills and my skills were really good with to make the thing. And then once we had the business started, so it was like forming the company, putting it on paper. You know what I mean? Like I was responsible for him. He was responsible for me. And like we were working on something together. So now we had two people, two heads on the project, and we developed some quick momentum. And then once we started building, it was really exciting. Like, for me, I was literally super stoked. I quit my other job and I just like went full-time Buttendz like 2013, moved back to Buffalo. And then like, it was just there. Once you start the business, like there's just so many things to do because there's always something to do. And you can be anything from, just doing research or, you know what I mean? Like studying what's going on, watching games, like everything. It becomes like your business becomes like your full-time, all that you think about. So that's pretty much how the momentum really got started.
What do you think makes butt ends unique?
I feel it's just like the design, that like extra feel on your top hand. I don't know, just it saves the gloves, different style options. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like those are the main key points really. And you don't have like dusty tape, it holds that, nice look and yeah.
I would say like the personality behind it, like the fact that like you mentioned earlier, Mike and John, like going out into the market and starting this company. We started the business with the hockey community. You know what I'm saying? Like we wouldn't have been able to grow our business for the last 10 years, 9.5 years without, you know, the entire community like buying in and being like, yeah, we want this product. Like, so just, I guess that's what kind of gives us this position that we're in now, to be like a unique hockey brand that, you know, grew from the inner bellies of like youth hockey rinks and like, you know, grinding it out for weekends at a time at all these different tournaments and meeting all these players who, you know, have known us. I've met a lot of the hockey players that follow Buttendz brand. Like I've met them personally. So definitely that gives us something that separates us from, you know, other hockey brands in the industry.
Customer feedback, that's the huge thing. You know, seeing what they're liking, you know, what we need to adjust, and yeah, just getting their input.
What do you guys think has been your favorite memory so far, running the brand?
Just like the work we do together, or like the trips that we've done, or what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, man?
I would say like the trip we did to like Vegas, Utah, like seeing the game content there, and then like doing that tournament in Utah and the hike and everything, the content, that was pretty unreal. Probably one of the best.
Yeah, definitely. Josh and I have had some great experiences, especially, you know, during the pandemic where things started to open up and we got back into the hockey community after it was shut down for a significant amount of time. And Josh and I went out and like got jump started back into it, you know, and everybody was kind of getting used to getting back into the rinks. Like that was definitely some really exciting times to be back doing what we were doing for a long time before the pandemic. That was awesome. And just yeah, I mean, honestly, starting the company Buttendz, like I had a fun time playing hockey. Like I had a great career. Like I had so much fun playing college, playing pro hockey, and that was awesome, and I loved it. But man, starting Buttendz like has really just like opened up the world in a way that I kind of had envisioned, but it's been better than I ever really could have expected. Just so many great experiences, so many great relationships, so many amazing you know, opportunities and people to skate with and be a part of this hockey world and to have a company. It's been wild, man. It's been so fun. It's hard to decide to just pick one.
It's like all in one too, like networking, like traveling all over, meeting new people, you know, introducing them to something that can really, you know, give them an edge on their game. And I don't know, I feel like everything comes together, and that's why it's unique.